Need to hear one of our shows again? We've got them on podcast. Go to fmmoneytalkradio.com. Scroll down to Podcast on Demand. Pick your show and it's on. Podcast on fmmoneytalkradio.com.
Radio have been in conjoint business for 10 years. They have been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses reaching all over South Florida. With added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio, it has never been easier to get your voice heard by millions of listeners. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP2TV at 866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Café is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Café studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Café and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Café. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Ding.
You don't have a bell again?
Nope.
Where's your bell now?
At the studio.
What's wrong with you today?
I
think you need to go home and start over. You had some day.
There you go.
He can't find his bell. You can
Are
never
you from
find.
Florida State?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the mold got in your head.
No mold, nothing.
It's in your brain.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Café. There's 400 things going on at one time.
Clear your brain.
And I forgot my bell. It happens. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, we got a show to do. Look at these masculine muscle guys.
Sorry, guys.
Slick, she laughed at you. Why are you laughing at Slick?
Because if you see their faces sitting over there, you look like they are exhausted. This light's not even on. They look exhausted. What did you do to my boys today? This one. See, there's no light coming out of that fixture. The one in front of me.
I see it. I didn't do anything. We rolled that table
What did
in.
they do to you guys today? I don't even know. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to the afternoon show at the Brooklyn Café.
He didn't do much. He just got your desk.
Chaos
We put a
personified.
table in there, which we rolled, and the boys and Teddy put the wiring together, and that was it. You can't be exhausted over that.
They look exhausted.
Oh, exhausted.
What is it? Frustrated? Winded.
Winded for what?
Well,
wasn't looking to move around some stuff, and especially with wires, a lot of wiring and unplugging and rewiring.
Did you guys hurt
I mean,
yourself?
I did I'll say slice myself with one of the cords, but that's
You didn't even
that's
touch
just
the
battle
wires.
scars for
Teddy
today.
touched the wires.
I mean, I kind of touched them to unplug them, to hand them to Teddy.
Oh, that's
So it's
that's right. You bent over. You were making all sorts of noises.
yeah, because I was I've been getting jacked since
You've been getting jacked. I think you've been jacked.
I think I think the lady.
You know what?
I can't keep a straight face when I say this. I think the ladies are seeing it, you know, like
the ladies,
ladies? Because
the
pecs are gonna be percolating.
What ladies?
The pecs are gonna be percolating, and then you're gonna be like
percolating pecs.
Not yet.
Did they give?
I said 1 month. I said 1 month. Didn't I say? Okay. So by December, before Christmas, you'll see.
Of what year?
Of this year.
Oh.
He's gonna be percolating pecs. That's what we're gonna call you, percolating.
You know, percolating.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are in the middle of redoing some of our studio, moving some pictures around, moving Studio B to make that a pop-up recording studio that we're going to be working with some of our local SoFlo DJs and Amit Nightly. So if you are looking for a recording studio, we got you covered right here at the Brooklyn Café Show Theater.
Now, recording studio means what? You have to be specific.
You tell me.
It's going to be, what do you call an audio recording studio? What do you call that?
An audio recording studio?
Yeah, what's it called? A recording? What do you call it, Slick? What do you call it? A recording room? What do you call that?
Studio, basically. But some people call it the studio booth.
Or if anybody,
studio
recording booth.
Recording booth.
When you do a record, when you make a record, what do you call that recording studio?
Going to the studio, yeah.
No, it has another name.
Okay, so what outdated term do we call it then?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995. Let us know what you're thinking. If you want to record, if you are an unsigned artist, let us know. And then Amit does some of the mixing. You can record it right here after hours. Have your mixing done, and he's got his own label also.
We have a label. He has a label, but I'm going to bring back the...
You need a label maker is what you need.
Stupid.
I'm going to bring back the
I think
amp
you need
label.
a nap because
the
you
amp
are
label?
exhausted. You're on a whole nother level today. I don't know where you are.
I slept like a baby last night.
Maybe that's the difference.
Can we do auditioning for the amp girls?
Oh, you want to bring in the amp girls? I had those too.
I mean, we can do auditioning for the amp girls. I'll be like...
You want to be the judge?
I'll be one of the judges.
There you go. Can we have amp girls?
Yeah.
100%.
I know you. You're bringing the Geritol crew. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
Here's the thing. It's like I just got to make sure.
No.
Yeah, I'll say it off there.
I can always just ask. I can always ask some of my grandma's friends and the old folks.
Of course you will. Of course you will. The Geritol group. They're gonna say, "I need a pill."
That's what you get. That's exactly what you're gonna get. The amp girls.
Wow, unbelievable.
I know. I think we've got Michelle Landers joining us, our numerologist of the Brooklyn Café Show. And the last time Michelle was with it was before we moved. We had done the 2019-2020 numerology readings. And now, Michelle, of course, we're going into 2021. How are you doing?
Doing really well. How about you guys? How are you? You look fabulous. I love the whole background stuff that you have going on there.
Thank you. You'll have to come check out our new studio. You've moved also since we spoke.
Yeah, right now I'm staying with my daughter in Wellington, but I'll be moving to Central Florida probably.
You're really
I'm getting
moving.
a little bit of feedback.
You gotta turn your sound down a little
Just got to
bit.
turn your volume down a little bit on your computer.
Okay, let me do that.
You look terrific. Michelle sold her house, packed up and moved.
That's what's happening all over. I mean, we've got lots of things going on, and I took a little peek at your chart, both your charts.
Oh God, no.
And
Oh God, please don't.
How's it looking for us?
Do you want to know?
Of course I
Do you
want
want to know what's going on?
Yes, inquiring minds want to know what's going on.
And if you tell me another change is about to happen, I'm going to chase you down in Central Florida.
Well, it's true because you're both under some more changes, but you know what the good thing is? The really, really good thing is I kind of see this expansion going on with the two of you. So does that make any sense to you? Because I feel like you're going to blow things out of the water.
Well, I feel like I've gained like 10, 15 pounds on this COVID. If I keep expanding, I'm going to explode.
It makes a whole lot of sense. She's the second person to tell us that.
We need more specifics.
We need more specifics. Okay. Then what I have to do is look a little bit deeper into your chart, but like just off the top, because when I knew I was going to be on here, I said, well, let me take a real quick peek at what's going on in their charts. And are you, Dawn? There's money, a lot of money coming in.
How come she gets all the money? I don't understand this. Oh, Dawn, you're going to have all the money. I'm going to get all the debt, so I'm going to get bigger on debt. I got it.
Yeah, but you know what the good thing is? So she's going to get all the money, but she's going to share it with you, Freddie.
Amen.
Wow.
That's exactly how I just spent the morning.
Lucky me.
Did I not just spend our morning sharing
here we go,
our prosperity?
Yes.
Wait till you see what comes in this week.
You look really, really impressed, Freddie. You really look impressed. But, you know, Freddie, for you, it's a really good time for you to clean up a lot of the stuff that is either lingering or stuff that you want to get rid of, stuff you want to change. It's a good year to clear up, clean out, clear up. It's great to sell things in the year that you're going into.
I know what she's talking about. Yep, you're 100% correct.
The thing is, Michelle's always correct. You may not like it, but she's always correct. She gives you a new lease on life. But we had somebody else, and we had a psychic who was in, and she said to us, I hope you're ready. Grab the tiger by the tail, because you're going to explode bigger and expand, and more to come. And that was a couple months ago. So yes, it totally makes sense with what we've been told.
Okay, so there you go, right? Right, so you just have to ride that train and have faith in that. And whatever it is that you're doing, know that you're on the right path, you're on the right track.
Amen.
Freddie, you look incredibly bored with what I'm saying.
Not at all. I am incredibly panicked. Because sometimes change is good, and sometimes change is challenging, and you sort of have to figure out. But I do understand what you're talking about. Boy, do I understand. But the object of the game is that you want to try to grow what you're doing within the cards that you were dealt. And right now, it's a very tricky situation. What's going on right now? Our business is based on other people's ability to do things and things of that nature. So it's going to be tricky from my perspective. You're getting all the money. You got no problem.
But I share. I just told Val the same thing.
Yeah.
I would love to buy everybody all their Christmas presents.
Yeah,
and I would
I'm
love
getting
to
a cup of coffee. I get it, but that's.
I told you your Christmas list is a list in my brain.
I don't want a list. I don't want to.
You want the gifts? All right, I'll take it off the list and I'll send you the gifts. Michelle, when you went through 2020, right, we had you join us actually even at Paramount Dance, and you had done our charts in the end of 2019. It was the last quarter. Did you see any of this stuff? I mean, now we can look at it in hindsight. Did you see any of this happening?
Well, okay, what I did see was for 2020, two and two is a master number in numerology. So I knew it was going to be big, and I have proof in my emails, my newsletters that I send out, that something was going on, for sure. Something big was going on. But a pandemic? No. I knew it was going to be a major transition year for us, and I also knew that it was going to put people to the test, but I had no idea that it was going to manifest like this. And it's interesting because some astrologer friends that I have as well, and even psychic friends, have said they knew something big was happening, but they didn't know what. I mean, who knew that it would be this kind of a global challenge? But what is so interesting about it is it's rolling into next year. And for the United States, we're in a 7-year. And the number 7 in numerology is so incredibly spiritual. And so it's kind of like we had to go through this, even though it was on a worldwide level. But in the United States, I'll talk about specifically, we needed to go through this in order to get us ready for next year, because next year is a time when we really have to dig deep. We have to absolutely change how we see things, how we interact in the world, which we're doing right now. But I do believe that there is a lot more coming, but in a more positive way. I think there'll be more people turning inward, more people opening their heart up. And I kind of had this vision. It's really so funny. And it was like a blanket of snow falling, on the United States or something like that. It's like a quietness that's going to envelop us. I mean, we're going to have to go through some stuff in the very beginning of the year, but I do believe that there is a big change coming for us. And I think it's really, really positive. I think, financially, we're going to be okay. Talking about the United States, I think we're going to be fine. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. And there's a lot of people who are no doubt struggling, and I understand that. But I do think that we're going to be fine, and there's going to be changes made for sure, but it's going to be a totally different landscape than what we've been experiencing. We just have to go through this kind of rocky period that we are going through. And as I said, I knew something was going on this year, but I had no idea it was going to be this type of experience.
Well, Michelle,
but I think it's changed.
But Michelle, let me ask you: if you look at going through something that everybody thought was going to take weeks, and then it turned into maybe a couple of months, and now here we go again, and we're entering the new year. And the holidays right now, for everybody that I talk to right now, is very sensitive and a little bit down, if not a lot down. And here we go to another year. Change, I understand. People are writing in saying change is growth. I get it. But it only turns to growth when we turn our mindset to make it work. If you don't turn your mindset to make it work, then it goes inward. And when you mentioned the word inward, it struck a nerve in my head, because that's what's happening more right now with each other. We're not relying on one another. We're fighting one another, whether it's politics, red or blue, whether it's who's going to do this. Meanwhile, nothing's getting done, and people just don't realize all you're doing is making it worse to this change you're talking about. So the change that you're mentioning, is it going to be made because a vaccine comes along and then we decide to play nice in the sandbox?
I think what's happening again is, now I deal in the world of energy, right? So I think that the overwhelming energy. Okay, let me backtrack for a second. What we've experienced this year has in many ways leveled a lot of people. And usually what happens is you have to have a breakdown to a breakthrough. And I remember thinking, oh God, next year is a 7-year for the United States. What the hell is that going to mean? Because it's such a spiritual number and it calls us to reach higher. But as this end of the year is upon us, and looking at the numbers, I really feel overwhelmingly positive about what's going to come up. Now, that doesn't mean that, we're going to have the whole world holding hands singing Kumbaya, but I think there's going to be a lot more people who are embracing and understanding what is valuable in your life and what's valueless. And I believe that there's a huge shift coming, and I do believe it's positive, and I don't believe that sometimes people associate being very spiritual with walking around with a sackcloth and ashes on their head. And that's not the case at all. I mean, money is another energy exchange that we experience in this world. So when we can get our heads straight about that, and I think this year has certainly taught us a lot about reconsidering what is valuable in our lives and what's valueless. But I think we have to understand what money is. It's just another source of energy in this world, and understanding the proper use of it. And I do think there's going to be a leveling of the playing field, if you understand what that means. And there's going to be a lot of things coming out, and there's going to be a lot of changes. But overall, again, I think the majority of people are going to step up to the plate and embrace, more conscientious and spiritual values, and that's going to be reflected in how they do business and how they run their life.
How has this been for your clients?
Well, there's been a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. And what I've also experienced is a lot of people, because of the situation that they've been in, saying, is this really what I want to do? So again, many times we have to have a breakdown to a breakthrough. So for some people, it's an invitation for them to do something different in their life and do what they really, really love to do. And so many times, we go through life and we do things that we think we're supposed to do, that other people have imposed upon us, mainly growing up. You should do this, you should do that. And what a beautiful world this would be if everybody was doing what they love to do, right? I mean, look at you two guys. You really are bright, shining stars in a world of media, and because you're doing what you love to do, and that comes through loud and clear.
We would love to show you. Before you move, Michelle, you have to come over to our Boca studio and see, because last time we saw you, we were on the road, and before that, we were at our old studio. And you told us all this change was happening. For people who didn't watch the show then, when Michelle did our charts, and I read mine and I thought, oh my gosh, it said I would have a new relationship with life and death. And the next week, we got 2 new clients. One was Dignity Memorial, and one was the pasta company, which was like Loving Life. So. And I panicked when I read what you wrote, and then these 2 new clients come forward, and Dignity Memorial has definitely changed our relationship with understanding the celebration of life and preparing for death, because at some point we all are going to get there. And it was interesting. So instead of panicking, as you say, you walk in faith and you read the messages. I mean, you clearly wrote this, and I can show, and it was just the most unbelievable thing. And the change and the numbers and how numerology works. And she told us, just like you pulled those 2 cards before, this was going to be a change year for us.
Not once, but 2, and there's only 1 in the pack, yeah.
But you and I, this has been like everybody else. It was a huge change. But with our change, as Amy Rashevsky said, came growth and expansion.
Yes, and you hit that one right on the head. She's never been here.
No.
Oh, you got to come here so you can feel it.
I definitely, but I just want you to know, even though I'm going to be in Central Florida, I'm going to be down here too, part of the year, a good part of the year. So I don't want to give up even though we've become such a virtual, experience now. But there are connections that I just don't want to, give up. I have a lot of circle of friends here, even though, as I said, most of the time we see each other virtually. I'll be here maybe 4 to 6 months of the year anyway.
Oh, nice. How do people figure out what this year is going to be like for them? I know you worked with age, and Hector, I know you liked this last time.
Yeah, just take your month of birth and your day of birth, reduce it to a single digit. Like, as an example, for Freddie, your birthday is, is 3/19? What is it?
3/19, 1962. Okay. Yeah.
So 3/19, 9 and 1 is 10, and 3 is 13, and then 3 and 1 is 4, right?
Correct.
Right. Let me just check okay, wait, I had this all written down for you.
You're a 4, I'm a 9.
You're a 9? Really?
When's your birthday again, Dawn? I have
March 24th. So 4 and 2 is 6, and 3 is 9.
Okay.
If I'm doing it correctly. What are you, Hector?
December 7th.
6 and 3 is 9. That's right. And that is your achievement in life. So I don't know if we ever talked about achievement. That's a great topic to talk about. So 9 and 2021. And that is, drum roll, that's a 5. So you're going into a 5-year. So that's what you do. You just add your month and day of birth and add it to the calendar year. So you'd add it to 2021.
All right, so a 9 and a 5.
And 2000, yeah.
9
So
and 5 is
for the
14.
world,
14 and 4 and 1 is 5. Okay.
right. So for the world, it's a lot of changes going on. The world is in a 5-year. The United States has a different date because of the birth date of the United States. And you can kind of figure that out for every country, but it's kind of hard to do.
So the
Really,
world,
really
how do you
challenging.
date the world?
Well, the only way I can do it is use the year, 2021, and
that.
add those numbers together as a 5. So for the
5.
world, it seems to work out. It seems to fit usually the numbers.
So
but
I'm
as
a 5
I said,
year
I
also.
did,
What year are you? You're a. So what's
so
a
yours
5?
is yeah, but wait a minute. Freddie's is 319, right?
Yes.
4 and 5 is 9.
Yeah.
So you're a 9
You're
year.
quick. Don, you're so quick.
How'd you get 4 and 9? I'm 4 and 5 is 9, yeah. Where's the 5 come from?
2 for 2021. 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 5. Added to I feel like I'm Judy Herman. Added to your 9.
5 and 9 is not. Oh, 4 and 9.
No, you're
Four
just
and
in just know you're in a 9-year. You're going into a 9-year,
I'm
and
going
that's
into
clearing
it.
up.
And she's in a 9-year, and
I'm
I'm
in a
going
5.
into it. Or you're going
No,
into
she's
a
in a
5?
5-year.
So
So
5 is better than
together,
9.
so together you're going to create changes.
Yeah, she's getting all
right.
the money though, Michelle.
I know.
I want to be
Okay,
a 5.
Okay, I'm gonna change your chart numbers for you. Okay, so we can move some of Dawn's numbers over, her money over to your side. How's that?
Wow, you're
But-
gonna have a lot of money. You're like an annuity.
You better keep me around.
Yeah, she's like an annuity.
Your prenup. There you go.
Ah,
Okay, but I also think you're going to be spending money too, as
Yeah,
well.
that's her.
I don't know what's coming up for you, but
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
her.
like you're going to be money going out as well.
Absolutely.
But you're changing things.
We're looking to upgrade some equipment for sure, to do some new things.
yes, we had planned on doing some new platforms that were bigger, involving Meisner Park. I mean, we're talking about big stadium stuff, and everything is on hold till 2022. But
Okay.
that was the game plan, and we're gearing up the equipment and everything to get there. So
And when people look at achievement, what are you looking at? Is it your purpose or how successful you're going to be in a job? When you break down a chart, what does achievement
Yeah,
look
well,
like?
in anybody's chart, when I do a whole chart, there's a number of key pieces that I talk about, and one is, which I think most people want to know, or at least a good percentage of people want to know, what is my purpose? Why am I here on this planet? And that's such a rich question. And when you discover what that is, it can change your life, because all of a sudden, everything clicks. It's like when you can step into what you're meant to do, it changes your life. In fact, just before I was on with you, I was on a conference with somebody else, and she was in tears. And I like when that happens, because it gives people validation, or permission to go ahead and do what they really love to do, but maybe they didn't have the confidence, or they had those thoughts in their head, oh, I shouldn't do that. That's crazy. And I think what I've said before on your show, and it bears repeating, is like, if you love to make ice cream then be the best damn ice cream maker that you can, because people will come when you are passionate about what you do. And so, as I said, that's what shows through with you guys all the time. You love what you're doing. And, your relationship is great. There's such great synergy between the two of you. And you project that. So people want to be around you. They want to be with you. They want to tune in. So you've got a really, really winning combination there.
Thank you. We do love, at least I love what I do. You love what you do?
Sometimes. It's really, I'm going to tell you how ironic this is. I just got a text from somebody that I haven't talked to in a long time. Remember Connecticut?
Uh-huh.
So this girl in Connecticut who used to be our board operator when we were at iHeartRadio.
5 years ago, our first board op.
And it just came up. Remember the shoot that I did on the boat?
For Becky.
It just showed up. And she's sending me the pictures. I haven't spoken to the girl in a long time. And here she is talking about that shoot on a boat, on a yacht. And she's dying laughing. It just goes to show you how, you're right. If I look at this year for us, has been a major growth. Under the hardest circumstances, I'm not going to say the worst because it can always be worse. One of the hardest circumstances that we've had to endure, and we have grown. So it just leads me to believe when things get a little bit better, that the growth is going to multiply by 100, because we have big ideas, big ideas, scary big ideas. And that we're going to take, the suction is going to take all those that want to come with us right out that door to do it as well. So I have to agree, you are 100% correct. And it is going to be a fabulous year. The question is, how big is fabulous? Is it 2,000 square feet fabulous, or is it 10,000 square feet fabulous? That is the only question that I have, because it's only going to go in one direction.
It's as big as you want it to be. You know that, because along with the fact that numerology or astrology or any of these things can kind of validate what your purpose is in life, we also have a tremendous ability to co-create our reality. So anything that you can aspire to, it's going to be as big as you can imagine. So the idea is, if you're going to dream, you might as well dream big, right?
Why not, right?
And
go.
Right. And so I think, Dawn, that you encourage Freddie to dream bigger, right?
Bigger, Freddie. Boom.
Of course, she makes all the money.
But I share every penny with you. You know that.
I know.
Yeah, so I'm excited for you guys, and I'm going to go along for the ride with you.
We would love you to come along for the ride with us, 100%.
Absolutely.
We talked yesterday how everyone needs a coach. Every business, every individual needs a coach. And I feel like every business needs someone that works in the field of energy and numerology and astrology, because this all does work together. Everything comes into alignment and change, even though it's hard to go through what we went through even before the pandemic. We went through quite a bit of change a year ago. But we came through it in faith, knowing that God brought us to this great space, knowing that something bigger was coming, that we needed this space.
It took 3 turns to get here. We turned it down 2 times. It was the 3rd time was the charm, because the place that we were going to sign, something on that day got into that landlord, and he went mucho loco coco. And we said, we got to get out of here, because the guy went crazy on us, remember? And we ended up here that same day, and we ended up signing it. Now, I want to share you with Hector, who's sitting here patiently, to see if you could do his numbers, because I really am intrigued to see what year Hector's going into. So let's get the information you need for Hector.
Well, I need to, I'm going to try and see if this is okay if I plug in I just want to get a little bit of a better connection.
All right.
So you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so what I need is, what's Hector's, it's Hector, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your month and day of birth.
December 7th.
December what?
7th.
So you're 12 and 7.
Oh, December 7th?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 19, that's 1. I'm sure Dawn figured it out sooner than I did. Okay, and now the only other question, Hector, I have to ask you is, how old are you? How old are you going to be in December?
In December, 29.
You're going to be 29?
29. How old's Mia?
Okay,
Yeah.
29. Let's
So
see where that puts you.
That day I was a baby.
Okay, so Hector, are you thinking of moving, or are you changing your house, or doing something like that, or?
No, but the family around me keeps talking about that.
Okay, because there's something to do with home and family and moving, but you are in a really good year, little similar to Dawn for money. And being acknowledged and recognized for your talents.
Wow. There you go, Hector.
Nice.
Hector, there you go. You never know.
Are you in a relationship right now?
With someone else? No.
With yourself. Yes.
Okay, well,
Is he?
you're going to, I think you're going to meet, I'm pretty sure you're going to meet someone that's going to be
I met plenty
very,
of people. None of the,
Oh, Slick's running out.
no, I met plenty
Michelle.
of people. I don't think a single
Michelle,
one
they're
of them has
running
ever
out
felt.
here.
How you doing?
I'm almost certain it's not a single one of those ever felt the same thing. The same thing for me that I felt for
Give me
them.
the 3 shot.
How you doing, Michelle?
aw, yeah, good. So I think you're going to have a significant relationship.
With what?
Another person.
Another person.
Another person. Are you looking for that?
I don't know anymore.
Hey man, that's good. That's good.
What? Not knowing?
No, not knowing, because like it happened like serendipity.
It isn't not knowing, it's not expecting. Big
Yes.
difference. Not knowing is one thing, not expecting it and it happens.
another
It
thing.
feels pretty good.
Since we on the topic of relationships, Michelle.
Oh no, we're not on topic of it.
we're
Hold
on
on,
the topic of
Slick.
relationship.
Hold on, we gotta finish with Hector first,
Oh,
and then we'll
okay.
get to you.
Okay.
Boy, this guy. He gets a muscle and he gets bigger and better.
I'm telling you.
All right, so Hector, money your way, love life, looking good. These are good things.
Yeah, really.
Getting acknowledged for your talents and your strengths, all good. It's a good year for you.
It seems like
Okay.
it's going to be a good year for
One,
you.
one more thing let me do. What year were you born, Hector?
1990.
Okay.
Well, I think it's
see.
Christmas shopping.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
a pack of bras, a top from Walmart, and 2 leggings from Hot Topic. And I think the
Okay.
rest will be stocking.
Hector is really a very, very sweet person. Very kind, very sweet, very sensitive as well.
True.
And I think that one of the things in your life, Hector, that you're meant to do is to bring peace and harmony to situations.
Well, I can believe that, considering where I live.
Okay,
Oh,
there's
Lord,
there's
Lord.
more. Yeah. So I understand why you're not on camera, because you'd rather be behind the scenes helping. You're a behind the scenes
Oh, really?
helper.
Because-
You're a good.
Well, really, it's because of the way things are set up.
Oh,
Pretty
okay,
much they
but-
never turned their camera on. Can when you guys come turn the Slick, get the camera going for you guys?
No, the camera's on. No, the camera's on. I think this works better. She is the guest after all.
Well, we can put
They
you
can
on.
do a
There's no big
3-shot.
deal. We can go to 3.
No, that's fine.
No, she's the. Yeah, it's like she says. It's fine. She's the guest.
All right, so Slick,
Like,
Yes.
you have a question for
Okay.
Michelle?
Michelle. So, how you
Yeah.
doing? since you're seeing me. I just want to know, like,
see you. Let me just
I just probably want the basic synopsis, like, heck, because you're talking about relationships and whatnot. I don't know if I'm gonna meet somebody serendipity, and plus, especially with goals as well, because I'm trying to reach something that I've been putting on my vision board that I'm inching closer, but I haven't actually crossed the finish line yet.
Well, I think 2021 might be the time for you to cross that finish line. It's a really positive year for you.
Okay. Thank you.
And as I said about as far as serendipity, yeah, I guess it might be serendipitous that you'll meet someone, but it's a really good year for love, for home, for money. And without going into your chart in detail like I do off the top, I would say, all systems are go. It's going to be a really good year for you. And just have that faith and belief that you're going to cross that finish line, okay?
Oh, thank you. Of course, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Most definitely.
Michelle is the best. She is our in-house numerologist for the Brooklyn Cafe
I'm
show.
yours. I'm all yours. Whenever you have a numerology question, give me a call.
Michelle is unbelievable. Michelle, how do people reach you?
You can go to my website, which is Michelle Landers, and I guess you have my name up there.
Yep.
Okay, so it's just Michelle Landers, Michelle with one L, .com, and I do free 15-minute strategy sessions with people. So if you have a question, whether it's about coaching, if you want to have more peace and tranquility in your life, if you want to find your purpose, I will be more than happy to chat with you for free.
Wow, that's amazing. What a nice gift, Michelle.
Oh, thank you.
You're amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. Freddie, ready for 2021?
I am. You know what? When I heard you were coming on, I was a little nervous. Because I remember there was a time when I picked the death card twice.
Yeah.
And there's only one card in the deck.
Yes.
And I picked it twice. So I was a little worried, Michelle, a little worried. But I feel a whole lot better.
She validates a whole lot that other people have shared with us that we know.
Well, it's perception too. You can make a bad situation good, and then you can make it better. You just got to go, and you got to keep going, and you got to keep going.
You got to keep dreaming big, Freddie.
I like it.
That's it. Absolutely.
Thank you, Michelle. Stay safe. Good luck with your move. Stay in touch with us.
Thank you. I will definitely stay in touch. You guys are the best. I love you both. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for you guys.
Thank you. We're thankful for you also.
Come down and see us when you can. I have a secret. I'm going to let you even pick a gift out of the dad bag I have for you.
Thanks, Michelle.
What?
Okay.
I'll show
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving. Let's take a quick commercial break. MichelleLanders.com, Michelle with one L. Check it out. A free 15-minute strategy session. Her numerology, working with the numbers of your birth date, your name. It's amazing how really it is in alignment, and just always keeping the faith. And yes, change can be good, Amy. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting Café to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, And they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
The way you live your life says a lot about you. The way you choose to commemorate your lifetime can say even more. It's a single event that speaks volumes. So how do you celebrate a life? Dignity Memorial providers believe that your memorial service should be as unique as you are, reflecting your personality and your passions. It should be a perfectly tailored send-off, a fitting tribute for family and friends to celebrate the person they love. We're professionals at catering to your every need, right down to the catering. In fact, no detail is too small. So when it comes time for a fitting tribute, we'll see that your final wishes are beautifully fulfilled. It's what Dignity Memorial providers are known for. And why you should rely on us to see that your life is well celebrated. The celebration of a lifetime begins here.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Café Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. And if you call in right now, I give you 4 tickets to the circus. 4. I know there's 4.
I think you should take Rowan.
To the circus? No, he'll be afraid.
Come on, give him a chance.
He'll be afraid. You ever gone to the circus and see the clowns and they just to get you scared?
Maybe you're afraid.
What's the phone number?
888-994-4995. Give us a call to win 4 children's tickets to this circus, which happens to be this weekend. Actually, yeah, there's 3 here.
No, there's 4.
1, 2, 3. Did one fall on the floor? Oh, there's 4. Never mind.
There's 4.
West Palm Beach, November 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd at the South Florida Fairgrounds. These are 4 free tickets for kids. And then the first 100 adults pay just $14.50 online. Totally new, free ticket. Wow. $12 value for kids. Give us a call. We'll get these out to you.
Yes.
Ages 3 to 13. So you should take Rowan.
He's not 3.
He doesn't need a ticket then. And then we still have 4 to give away.
Okay. You want me just to take him and pay full price for him?
No, he's free. Kids are free. 0 to 3 are free always. 3 to 13, these are free kids tickets.
Oh. How do you know all this?
Cause
Well, you got to your head already. You're winning. There you go. You got tickets.
he's a little
got all the
upset.
money.
We had a numerologist on and says this is going to be a big year for money and a big year of growth.
But she's getting the money. I'm just getting the growth.
But we work in synergy. Everybody says that. Everybody knows
Yeah,
that.
but she gets all the money. You know, it's good to be all the ideas in the world that don't work, and then the money's over there. Mm-hmm.
Have I ever said no to you? We just
Yes.
say, yeah, I have. It's all good that we're going to keep talking about the energy for our first segment, Rewind. Watch Michelle Landers. She's doing free 15-minute strategy sessions, and then she will also work with you on putting your numerology chart together, which is amazing. If you think about numbers, I keep seeing numbers out of that painting. I don't know why there's no numbers in that painting.
Yes, there is.
But for some reason, I keep seeing numbers popping, going this way in
You
my
know,
mind.
you ever heard the saying that math is exact science? There's nothing more pure than math. And I never really understood what that meant until I got older. Do you know, I was horrible in math.
Me too.
So when I went to the radio station to hang that circular thing, I had to use calculus.
How did you even do that?
I don't know. There must be something wrong.
Do you even
with
know
it.
calculus?
Yes.
I don't.
I failed it twice. And I used calculus. I took the area, the square root area of a circle.
Okay.
And I always said to myself, when the hell am I going to use calculus? And that's how I got that stupid thing up.
It looks really nice, actually.
It was mathematical.
It looks very nice.
I'm impressed. Don't ever ask me to do it again.
Science and math. Women are becoming big in the whole area of STEM and science and research.
Well, I bring it up for a reason because our next guest is all about the science, right? And it's all about accepting the science. You know, we have a pandemic and you have a president, and you have another president who says you got to accept the science. And some people say, no, you don't accept the science, you sort of fight through it. And somewhere in the middle is the truth. But science is always pure. Math is always pure and it's always exact.
Well, what do you think about energy, though?
It's a science, it's a
but
number.
we don't see it. Like there
You
are
can see it.
2 dozen roses here. But do you see energy?
Yes, I do. And it's different for everybody. What I see is not what you see.
Correct.
Some people don't. Some people feel it. You know, it's funny. If you look at the sun, you know it's there, right? And you feel the heat. If a blind person looks at the sun, they feel the same heat, don't they? But they don't see it. It doesn't mean it's not there. So it's using perception of what God has given you. So some people do see light, some people see dark, some people are able to decipher the difference between a person getting into the light and a person going into the dark.
I'm excited. We've got Kim Skulkin here with us, and I've been thinking of Kim over and over. And I even asked my daughter, have you talked to Kim? Have you followed up with the assessment she sent? She said, I was thinking about it. And we met Kim, gosh, it's more than a couple months ago. I think it's back in the spring. You came in with our friend Leslie Carmen, and she did a segment here one evening with Biomeridian, where you would hold it and look at different energy. And then you've got some great things happening. We had a great conversation before your segment. I want people just to get to know you because we've really never had the pleasure of having you on the cafe.
Great. Well, thank you for having me.
So, welcome. Just got to hold the mic.
Okay, and I'm going to speak loud because last time I didn't speak up properly.
And you look terrific.
Thanks.
How have you been?
I've been good. Growth has been helping me. Actually, with the COVID and everything, we've had some crisis happen, in the family. With everything, but a lot of growth, a lot of good things, a lot of figuring out because of the COVID, it actually helped me in a lot of ways because a lot of my clients, everyone was stuck at home, so everyone was sending all the DNA samples. So everyone had time to reflect on themselves, see what's going on, everyone was bored, and a lot of inner growth was going on. So I was able to send a lot of DNA samples to people to test their energy to see all the imbalances that are going on with them, and then to help heal them. And with that, since they always did the health with like the allergy sensitivities and your organs and things like that, everything kept going back to emotions. I would always end up at emotions, like you're having inflammation because this emotion has been harboring in this organ or certain things, but it would always go back to emotions. And I started seeing a pattern, and I did this new scan that I had, and it was all about like deep emotions.
What are the scans, just so people understand, what are you working with?
Bioenergetic assessment. So it's basically your energetic system. So it's like the signals that your brain puts out, or the signals that your organs, the signals in your body that puts out. I take a picture of those when I do the assessment to see what's going on at that moment. So like if you were to go get MRI, it takes a picture of your body so they can see what's happening. Well, mine takes a picture of your energetic system to see if there's any imbalances, and if there are, why possibly they're there, like what's creating them. And then sometimes you get unwanted issues, like you could have, like if it's a food issue, maybe you're not allergic, but it's giving you digestive issues that you weren't aware of. I can help you pinpoint what that might be. If there's something that you've been harboring for years emotionally that you've just never dealt with, that's going to turn into something. So that may be harboring somewhere else. I work with a chiropractor, and wherever there's a lot of pain is energy blockage. So if you have an amputee, sometimes they say, well, I still feel pain, or they still feel that the limb that's missing. But it's right, the brain has not registered that the energy is still going there. It hasn't registered that the limb is no longer there. So the energy is being blocked. So pain is a blockage of energy. So I help to rebalance that. And now I just do pretty much like rebalancing your subconscious, reprogramming your subconscious. A lot of the emotional stuff we've had since we were way little, some of it goes back generational. And a lot of people are like, well, how can that be? It's just like epigenetics. A lot of that is big check with your genetics to see what your history is or what your mom had or generational. Doesn't mean you're going to have it, because the chromosomes and things are different. Same with emotions. We are pre-programmed with certain things. We came into this world, our conscious is going during the day. That's going to be like the tip of the iceberg that you see above the water. Everything else is subconscious. That's all underneath the water.
Now, let me ask, before the virus hit, people typically were able to suppress anxiety. Let's use that verbiage for a second, which can mean a lot of things. I get it. And anxiety attacks different parts of your organs in different ways, correct?
Yes.
Different frequencies, different parts of the body and everything else. So along comes this pandemic, and all of a sudden everybody's going bonkers because rightfully so, what's going on, losing your job, school, even walking out the door becomes a threat. Do the signals in the body change? In other words, does the heart, does the liver, does the body function, does it get more stressful than other parts? Or is it all the same?
Absolutely. No, and it depends on where those frequencies are coming from the most. So it depends, like if you have fear, that's going to do like your whole adrenal system. Like you're like, oh, like the fight or fight. You either get out or you're going to prepare to fight. Stress affects everyone differently, just like anxiety does. Some people get panic attacks, some people don't, some people get depression. It just depends on what they're going through, but this has definitely triggered a lot of just uncertainty, like not knowing when it's going to be over, what's going to happen, is it going to happen? And some people can be totally debilitated from anxiety, and they have to be on medication. And then others are able to, do meditation or breathing techniques, things like that to calm it. But those people generally know why, like what the triggers are. And I try to help find out what your trigger is, what that energy imbalance is.
And what if it is childhood emotions? So much you said goes back to emotions. Mm-hmm. Do you still work with your drops?
I do, yes. So those would be holistic drops, but I also just work with, so a lot of people don't want to do those. A lot of people, and I use this as an example. I have one person that I've been working with for about, I'd say almost a year now. And she's very, very fortunate. She was raised with a lot of money. She's been very successful for herself, never been married, on antidepressants and everything when I saw her, and a lot of emotional baggage from when she was younger, things like that. And she's always looking, like she will dump money on so many things. It's like retail therapy, as I call it. It just doesn't, it makes her happy for the moment, but it doesn't make her happy. So we've been going through like all the different things. A lot of it is self-doubt. A lot of it is like not having self-worth. Like she doesn't think she's worthy of happiness. So we like work on all the different emotions, and I'm not gonna, but some of them she know. Like sometimes if I like run you, you'll know what some of them are. Like there'll be a pattern, and then some you're like, I have no idea where this came from. Well, when you're sleeping and you're in an environment, your subconscious is always running. You know, sometimes when I do food scans, it might show pizza, and you may say, Kim, I love pizza. Right, but you may have had a fight when you were eating pizza, and that took a picture of that moment. So now your body's like, ooh, pizza, that might not be good because there was a negative impact. And that's the kind of things that our subconscious takes pictures of and holds. So we may have fears. Have you ever heard the story of like the dog that's been chained to the tree for 10 years and then the owner doesn't put him on, like doesn't hook him up, but he still doesn't go outside because he's been programmed. We've been programmed to do certain things, or we've been programmed that we can't go past this limit. Everyone has these vision boards, and vision boards are great. Like I think I used to have one too, only mine was my bathroom mirror, and I would talk to myself, do my affirmations. But if you have those negative blockages and that negative limitations already pre-programmed, it doesn't matter how much you manifest or how much you look at, your body's not going to let you think past that.
And that's the science. That's the exact science of what we were just talking about.
Right. And it's just like everyone wants to reprogram everything. The big thing now is like reprogramming your brain. Exactly. But if you don't know what those emotions are, it's like one size doesn't fit all. How are you going to reprogram when you don't know what to be reprogramming? So I help you find what those imbalances are so you are able to either deal with them. And from that, I started New Hope of Enlightenment, which is a church. And with that, I found a lot of people that were lost. So my point with you is earlier we were talking, all these people, these emotions would come up, certain topics would come up, abuse, things like that. Maybe they weren't ready to deal with it. So then I'd have to be like, oh, well, now you can go talk to somebody else. Well, maybe they don't want to talk to somebody else. They just connected with me. So now I'm able to start talking to them, do things with them, work through it. Unless you need to obviously go see someone deeper.
You know,
but
it's interesting, Kim, not to interrupt you, but it's interesting because when I did the Biomeridian, something snapped for me. And panic attacks, like we were talking to Val this morning, and she said something to me, all you see is panic attacks. You know, panic attacks have a tendency of removing your focus. And you're not realizing it when you're going through it. All of a sudden you get a little clumsier, you begin to forget things. And it doesn't necessarily transforms into, look, I don't have shaky hands, I'm not panicking. There's other things that the body goes through. Foggy brain, whatever that means. I know we've thrown that around as well. And I just want to stress to people out there, when I had this, it cleared up my mind to the point that I wanted to get healthy.
Right.
I wanted to do things correctly, where I didn't do that for 50 years before that. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that you work in different things with different people depending on what they need. Absolutely. Using the technology, correct?
Right. So I have Parkinson's patients that I work with, and I don't cure you, I don't diagnose you, but I help you maintain your symptoms. And sometimes we can get those symptoms down to minimal. Like my Parkinson's lady, she's able to go out and eat now, where before she would never go out to eat because she shook so much.
That's how? Through what strategies are you working with?
Just the assessments and then the drops. The drops actually really help with the brain, the frequencies in the brain. It's really helped her be able to manage her tremors. So when she knows that, and we've also found a lot of the triggers. Like we found that for her, like EMFs, like her cell phone, her iPad, things like that, power lines. So she has a blocker. She has like EMF blocker. She tries to make sure she doesn't keep anything turned on in her room at night that has like Wi-Fi, to try to keep those triggers down. Again, if you have a disease, you have a disease. But if certain things help those symptoms make those worse, then we try to rebalance those for you.
And I found the food sensitivities, and you did a big assessment on me when you were here, but I think it was back in March when this all started. Yeah. And one of the things was random tomatoes. Now, a lot of the things that you said are sensitivities, I don't eat. And I guess that's why my body, like raw onions and things that I just don't, and maybe that is why I don't. Right. I ate a lot of salad, so I would order pizza and salad on the weekends. And on Monday morning, I'd always have a stomachache, and I'd always think it was the pizza. But I think now it was probably the tomatoes, the raw tomatoes in the salad. So I've become cognizant of that, and my stomach's been a whole lot better, like silly things like that.
Sure.
But that's just a food. But the emotional, there's so many emotional components going on.
Yeah.
And I want to take a commercial break, and maybe Slick, you can run the board. I want to bring Teddy out. Yeah, she knows why also. Yes. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more with Kim. Let's talk about the energy and what you're doing with this church and our first responders.
Okay, perfect.
Stay tuned, 888-994-4995, and we'll be right back.
Some muscle reflex.
Kids for Kids Ministry. The vision is to see children in Haiti emerge from extreme poverty into an extraordinary destiny in Christ. The problem is the orphans in Haiti lack clean water to drink and food sustainability. These children need art-integrated education, medical needs, shoes, clothes, a lunch program, and teacher salary aid. The mission is to sponsor local leaders in Haiti to support them in the care of orphans and vulnerable children. In January of 2020, Kids for Kids traveled to Haiti to visit the orphans at their home and at their school. The school has now grown to 30 children attending daily classes, but there are many things to improve upon. To help us or to donate, contact Patty Paget at Kids for Kids Ministry, 561-876-1710. That's Kids for Kids Ministry at 561-876-1710.
DearAbby.com. Dear Abby is a life coaching company that was founded by Abby Awotasu. At Dear Abby, we believe in empowering single women and men to unapologetically own their identities and grow in self-love. We know that before you find true, meaningful, lasting love, you must first love and fully embrace your unique self, flaws and all. Contact us today at AskDearAbby.com for your personalized coaching session that will get you on the path to ultimately finding your soulmate. And follow Dear Abby on social media at AskDearAbby on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Café Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
So sad.
No, Slick did a delay on the
He
black.
slid it over and we were back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Did you ever see the show Homeland?
Security?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they always think she's crazy and bipolar because she sees numbers and then she puts number charts all over the room. Every time I see this painting, there's like numbers flashing this way and this way on me. I keep looking at it and I look. Yep. And I keep seeing fours flash over and over on the side of my brain. So I think I got to move that painting because it's a little bit distracting. And there's no fours in that. Anyway, Amy, it's one of your kids' pieces if you're wondering what painting I'm looking at. Then you'll be distracted also.
I see the lotto winning number.
There you go.
You would hit. After today's conversation, you would hit.
And then you go.
Isn't that impressive?
How you like that?
Anyway, moving on.
We've got Kim Skokin joining us, and I'm excited because we had done scans and the drops, and I never got to do the drops, and I know you spoke with my daughter also. You talk about foods and sensitivities and pain being blocked energy. What if Parkinson's, you can help this one client? People who've got stomach issues or IBS or Crohn's, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much we all have imbalances. So it generally is if you don't feel well and you don't know why, or you have something that you think like for stomach and you're taking a ton of probiotics and you're not getting any results that you want, then you may want to come to see what is causing that. Is it emotions? Is it food? Is it something in your environment? And we try to, it's like peeling back an onion. When we just start going through it and see what works, what doesn't, and then, because like I said, when you do the assessments, you take a picture of right now, and then 5 minutes from now it's going to be different. So we work on that, what I took a picture of, and then in 4 to 6 weeks we take another picture, and then we see where you are. Normally at the first time we normally get whatever's going on. And again, like the Parkinson's, and I help MS people as well with their symptoms. It depends what you have going on and how much pain you're in or what your symptoms are, and if they are triggered by energy imbalances. And if they are, then I can help you rebalance those.
Maybe you can release this pain in my jaw. It might be the pillows. I don't know. I know you didn't bring your
I didn't,
with you.
but yes, definitely.
Should always bring it with you. And I brought Teddy out because she's running through tests and tests and tests and tests. Maybe this is something totally. It's just a biomarker. You just hold these metal rods.
And if you're not with me, then I can send you a DNA scan and send it. But yeah, next time I'll bring it and we'll do it for her. Yeah, what's going on?
I have like stomach issues where they think it's celiac. They think it's a bacteria. I have to get a bunch of tests run for it to see what it is.
Yeah, well,
it's real fun getting so much blood taken.
I know. I have celiac, and I went through a lot to get to that point. And how I got into the scans was my friend had a scan, and she was helping Lyme patients, Lyme disease. And I would like take the scans, and I would like look at them, and they would always say like, no gluten, no flour, no wheat, no this or that. And I'd be like, and then I'd still have pizza and I still have things, but I was still getting all the symptoms and things were happening worse and worse. So yeah, I would love to assess you to see what's going on. That way you don't have to hopefully keep getting blood taken.
Yeah, I would like to keep my arms pincushion free for a little while longer.
How does the
Especially
DNA
right now.
scan work?
So I send you a swab, and you swab your mouth, and you send it back to me. And then it's kind of like the DNA test for to see like who you're related to, things like that. Yeah. So it's kind of like that. It's, only they spit into it. You don't have to spit into it. You just do the swab with me and then send it back, and then I'm able to run your energy on the machine and see the same exact things.
Did you ever do that, or you did the regular? You held it, right? When she was here that night, we did those.
No, he didn't.
I didn't do hers.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, because you did it, and I think somebody else did it. It was like a whole long line.
No, you just didn't do it.
You just didn't do it. You opted out.
I didn't do it with Kim. I had done it with
yes, but you didn't do Kim's.
I didn't because
we didn't have time. Like, we didn't have time.
The object of the game was I wanted, because at the time you had migraines. And the object of the game was to get you, and I think your daughter did.
Yeah. Kim came at Chelsea another time.
Yeah.
And then there was a show.
If she did a show with Leslie, that was it.
Though it makes it sound like we had 24 hours. No, we had to do all this in like an hour. So
Freddie, you and I can go. We'll go and we'll get our biomeridians.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, it does work.
Everyone's messed up.
It does work.
I don't like to call it
amazing thing to do. And do you do the thing where you take the medicine and you put it on there to see how it reacts to your body?
So I do test supplements, yes. I will not test prescriptions because obviously another doctor prescribed that for you, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, I do that for you. I actually had a cancer client, and this chemo was making her very sick, which of course is a reaction to chemo sometimes. And she was like, "Will you just test it for me?" And I was like, "No." But I had been with her through breast cancer and everything, so I was like, okay, I tested it. Of course, it said her body didn't like it, which makes sense because it kills a lot of the cells in your body. And the next day she was going into her appointment, and she told the doctor, and the doctor actually changed her whole therapy. It probably was going to do that anyway based on, what he had found out. But she knew she didn't like it. And that's like a lot of times we know. You know. Everything I'm going to tell you, you know. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm like, don't eat this or don't do that, you already know. But you still tempt fate. Like we get our feeling, we have our instincts, we know our intuition.
Tempt fate. It's like with Michelle Landers, right? Yeah. We tempt fate until someone says, "Don't put your finger in that light socket," or "Do go play the lotto numbers." Right? You need that third party, someone to say, "Do it or don't do it," because in your gut. We have these instincts, like we know, like there's certain things probably you eat that make you not feel so good.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, but you go, I'm going to try it one more time, maybe this time it won't. And then that time might be just like the last straw in your body says, I am just done, I can't do this anymore.
You doubt yourself because you don't have someone telling you exactly what it is. So you're like, oh, I think this is what it is, but like I don't know for sure. So like I have to keep experimenting and playing around.
But what's so interesting about you're exactly right. We doubt ourselves. Like you'll come to me, a complete, like say you didn't know me, complete stranger. Well, you don't know me, so it is. And I'm gonna tell you things, and I'm gonna give you permission. Like you already know half of it, but just to hear it from someone is like, oh, okay. And it's just interesting because we're all the same way. Like, you know, you tell your kids things and your kids don't listen to you, but they'll listen to someone on the street. I don't know if you have kids, but, you know, they'll listen to somebody, but rather than listen to you, you know, and it's like, what the heck? Like, I don't understand, you know, but yeah, so.
Yeah, but the other side also is that you may give a supplement and something that helps you sleep, like somebody sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe somebody gave you a supplement. And now you sleep, right? Where you didn't before. And it was a very simple adjustment. The same thing with Teddy. There's going to be and there's going to be an adjustment there. And then you're going to listen to someone like you because you're doing it and it makes sense. And when it makes sense, you do it. When it doesn't make sense, you don't do it. That's really what it comes down to. I knew that I was missing supplements in my life. I never took any.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, they started me on 18 different supplements, which went down and down and down. And I feel great. But I've also learned how to calm myself down because I was hyperactive.
Sure.
I was worse than these two combined at one time. I didn't think there was enough time to get anything done. And I thought I was Superman. And as you get older, you begin to realize you're not Superman.
Right.
So you begin to listen to the experts, little by little, making your adjustments. You've been a good patient. I'm very shocked that you've listened to some of the other things that you're taking now.
Do you know what happens when your body is in so much pain and you can't fight it without, and I'm not big on I hate taking medications. I don't like the side effects of it, so I always try to find a holistic way or nothing. And when you can't take the pain anymore and you just say to God, I can't do it anymore, please help me. And you get a message and you get help, you follow the message.
Mm-hmm.
And being on magnesium and this extra supplement they gave me.
How simple is that?
Took my migraines away. I was 6 weeks, I had a migraine every single day. And you saw, I was debilitated. I mean, it's bad. When I get it, when my body breaks down, Teddy's a witness, it shuts down. It doesn't give me a warning. It's like, here's a 2x4, you're done. I can't be done. We've got too many things to do for me to be done. Simple, magnesium and another supplement.
But it worked.
And it works. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to, obviously, I try to just let your body heal itself, you know, with the drops if we can, because the drops are just frequencies to rebalance you. If it shows that you need to be taking a supplement, then obviously take this up, like if there's certain vitamins and things like that. Otherwise, I just try to get you off of things that aren't necessary for you, unless they were prescribed. Because our body doesn't need everything. I have one client who literally brings a suitcase in every time she sees me. And I'm like, why? Like, half of the reasons why you're having side effects is from half the stuff you're taking. Right. And we go to the, you know, the vitamin shop, things like that, and we'll buy every single thing that we think we need or someone tells us we need. It doesn't necessarily mean you need that. And it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever fillers are in that are good for your body. That could be something triggering something too. So it's like, let your body calm itself down. It's like a cesspool, you know, and until you can let it clear itself out and stop dumping in it, then it starts to heal. But until you get to that point, and then once you do start to heal, you will never be able to go back to where you were, because you will get sick when you eat certain things, or you'll get sick because your body can control it, where it just shuts down, it goes dormant. It's just like, I'm in hibernation, do whatever you want to do. I can't keep up with you anyway, because we just keep doing it to ourselves.
And that's medicine and doctors, all in, everyone, do what you have to do and go to your doctor and take the medicines. We never say stop. But when you get to the point and you say, you know, it's not, and that's all it's doing is coating and layering it, and it's not making it any better. And that's when for me personally, I say this, I get to the point where I start looking for alternatives. Mm-hmm. When the conventional medicines don't help, or Tylenol, even that makes me sick. I tell you, I'm like the princess and the pea. I'm now on the search for the perfect pillow, because the pillow hurts my neck, or the pillow hurts my jaw, like the simplest things, but I've become so I was sensitive before, I'm so sorry. And I'm on like a whole nother level of being the princess over here, but I'm not. It's
so
just
now
sensitivity.
we're going to blame the pillow.
I'm just overly, incredibly sensitive. So when we work with energies, for me, frequencies are a whole lot better because they are only my frequencies.
Right.
And things that work for me. Other people can adapt to other things. You're working with first responders also.
So I'm working with Dr. Hope, who's doing brain mapping. So it's very similar to the bioenergetics, except for they work with, like, their machine is covered by insurance. Mine is not. And he's helping the first responders. He's helping firefighters with PTSD, with anxiety, with OCD, things like that. Because they see, and I will tell you, I've tested some of them and their emotions, like, they don't show up like other people do.
Really?
So there's something in there that just, well, I think it's like a safety mechanism or a survival thing. If they were able to absorb every single horrific thing that they saw on a daily basis,
Right.
I don't think they could function.
Wow.
So they just get stored, all the feelings, they normally don't talk about it, and he helps reprogram those frequencies in the brain with the brain mapping.
How does he do that?
So it's just the system. I'm actually going to have them come in and demonstrate for you how it works, because I don't do it, so I can't speak enough about it. But it just like helps really, like, he can show you on the on your assessment, on your scans, where the brain is being affected and to what degree, and then they can help. I think it's like through 6 or 8 different treatments, they can help reset that, so you won't have those you won't have the symptoms, or you won't have the triggers that would cause the PTSD. But it's expensive. Like, a lot of the insurance companies charge their deductibles are $5,000 to $10,000.
Wow.
So we're trying to raise funds to bridge that gap for them. So, because right now with the way things are, everyone's not sure what's happening. No one has the money to fork out to just get a test done. And yourself, first responders, they like save our lives all the time, and they're the most selfless people. So the last thing that they want to do is fork out money, take away from their family to help themselves, because they're like, oh, I'm okay.
That's a lot of money.
Sure it is, yeah, but they'd rather still be okay, because they always are. But somebody needs to help them. So we're trying to figure out ways. We're trying to get grants, things like that. So with the church, I'm able to help get donations for them for that. So
it's strange, because police officers, people in that first responder type of unit, they live every day in stress.
Yeah.
And where everybody's running away from the fire, they run into the fire. They run into harm's way to save other people that they don't even know. Mm-hmm. So when I watch on the news some of the things that are going on, you can see it. We're not handling stress well. The human body can only handle but so much. And then with everything else that's going on around us, that stress that was pushing us into areas that we are not familiar with. And you're seeing it. You're seeing, and you see the Black Lives Matter movement. You see all of this stuff that has been happening since yesteryear in the 60s that have been brought forward now that are worse. But a lot of the pressures are popping the cork on this stress management piece. And they should take first responders, and they should do this test for free. This is my thought. Firefighters, police officers, even the military. It helps people because they help others. Why in the world would these tests cost $10,000 when these people are putting their life on the line to helping others? And they do it. I mean, they get paid. Cops get paid. They don't get big money either. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But why aren't we taking things that work and offer it? I'll give you an example. The vaccine I hear is going to be free for everybody. You believe that? It better be. You'll see. You won't have to worry about a revolt. You're going to have it. Mm-hmm. It got to be. I mean, this thing is so out of control right now. We're going to put a price tag on it? Really? Then what is wrong with us?
Well, that's a whole other thing. But if you can help with symptoms, you can help with people that are through the emotional state, because the emotions, you said,
right,
this is what it keeps coming back to.
Right, and that's like with everything. It's always about the emotions. Most of your unwanted symptoms stem from the emotions. And it's crazy. And it's so interesting to see, because, like, I'll have someone come in, well, how long is this going to take? Well, it took you 50 years to get to where you are, so it's going to take about 20 minutes. It just depends,
Tell them it's going to be less than 50 years.
Right, but it's but it's hard to understand that you have a collection of energies, negative or blockages that have been holding you back from things, until I print it out for you and say, hey, you have low self-esteem, which you probably already knew, or this is why you aren't going after certain things in your life.
Can you tell somebody something like that? You have low self-esteem?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, it'll show. If they don't have self-worth.
I don't go in for this anymore.
If they don't, well, it's actually
just gonna be me getting roasted.
No. It's not like that. But it's actually, you already know.
Yeah.
Like my parents got divorced when I was little, and my dad wasn't around very much. So like I had abandonment issues. And I had self-esteem. Like to this day, if I call someone and they don't call me back like within an hour, 2 hours, I'm just like, oh. Subconsciously, I'm like, oh, I must not be good enough, because like I would call my dad, and then he wouldn't call back for like 6 months, Or he would say to my mom that he would tell me he was picking me up on a Friday. And I'd be in my little dress waiting. And Sunday morning, my mom's like, Kim, you need to get out of your dress. I'm like, no, he's coming. And I kept waiting at the window. It never came. Well, I'm 50 now. That's still with me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, how do you get past some of these things?
Once I like show you, like obviously, you know, once we go through them all and like we see self-esteem or self-worth, for me, abandonment. Well, I already knew where it came from, but then we try to figure it out. Like, and most of them you'll already know. Like, yeah, I know I have low self-esteem. Like when I was little, I had 7 brothers and sisters, and I was always, didn't get the attention or wasn't good enough. And then we work through those. So I don't just set you on. I don't just dump this on you and then set you on your way. We have. I keep meeting with you. We go through different sessions, and depending on where you're at with everything, acceptance. So you acknowledge it. Obviously, I tell you what it is. We say if there's a pattern, if this is causing any negative behavior patterns for you, if you're staying in a relationship that's maybe abusive physically or mentally, emotionally, or verbally, because you just don't think you can get out because you don't think you're good enough for something else.
Low self-esteem?
Low self-esteem or low self-love. Really? I mean, most people don't have self-love, yeah.
Yeah, I need to talk to you because I get surrounded with people this way, and I have a hard time understanding it.
Yeah.
Because I believe, and we always say it in here, we're the best at who we are and what we do. There's nobody better that does what we do in our world, in here. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people will come over to me, even some of the kids sometimes will come over depressed or sad. And I don't get that. I don't understand it. Maybe there's something wrong with me, I tell myself, because I refuse to accept that. So
I think too, as we're, and I don't know about you, but for me, like as I'm older now, like you learn a lot more about life than you did obviously when you're younger. You're invincible, nothing's going to bother you. But there's all these kids and young adults that are depressed or committing suicide or not understanding, and it's because they have a lot of stuff that unless you know what it is, unless I say, hey, this is a bottle of water, you don't know. If I'm just like, oh, there's something over there that you can drink. Well, you're trying to figure out what it is. And that's probably a bad analogy. But until it's pinpointed out for you to acknowledge it and then release it, you can't change it. So we need to get rid of those negative energies and imbalances to make way for new ones. So we teach you with that negative emotion, we teach you a positive one. So once I say, okay, you have low self-esteem, let's work on affirmations to build up that self-esteem.
Well, you're going to have a lot of clients because...
How you doing over there?
I'm excited. I'm just waiting for commercials so I can get your info. We can set up an appointment.
Let's give out your info, and then we're going to take a commercial break.
Okay. Well, you can just put it on your website or however you do it.
What is how do people reach you?
561-469-0099.
Are you going to put out your phone number?
I just did.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I know that. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Or you could go to naturalmedicineofpalmbeach.com.
Now you have both.
All right. Stay tuned. Let's take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Maybe. Maybe.
Sorry.
That's slick.
Slick. He's going, my bad. No. Slick commercial. There you go.
Over there.
Kids for Kids Ministry. The vision is to see children in Haiti emerge from extreme poverty into an extraordinary destiny in Christ. The problem is the orphans in Haiti lack clean water to drink and food sustainability. These children need art-integrated education, medical needs, shoes, clothes, a lunch program, and teacher salary aid. The mission is to sponsor local leaders in Haiti to support them in the care of orphans and vulnerable children. In January of 2020, Kids for Kids traveled to Haiti to visit the orphans at their home and at their school. The school has now grown to 30 children attending daily classes, but there are many things to improve upon. To help us or to donate, contact Patty Paget at Kids for Kids Ministry, 561-876-1710. That's Kids for Kids Ministry at 561-876-1710.
Moments Wellness Boutique specializes in integrating scientific and ancient therapies to relieve physical, emotional, and psychological distress. Through the power of touch, coaching, and meditation, clients experience pain relief, relaxation, healing, and detoxification. Contact Healing Moments Wellness Boutique at 561-931-2187 and experience Boca Raton's Healing Haven. Enjoy the benefits of an individualized treatment plan to help find your feelings of peace, complete balance, and wellness. Call Healing Moments today, 561-931-2187, and be rejuvenated.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
It's so funny. So funny. But
I
anyway.
know. We keep going.
All right, so Kim, give out your number, and people are asking your number and your www.
Okay, so my phone number is 561-469-0099. And the website is naturalmedicineofpalmbeach.com.
And do they have to make an appointment to come see you? Or is it done now virtually through the DNA, through the hair?
If you're local, you can come see me. I'm in West Palm. And if you're out of state or not local, or you just don't want to go out because of COVID and you're older, I can send you the swab.
Now, if you can and you're not afraid to go out, I highly suggest that you do it physically in person. Simply because the journey and the ride of what you're going to learn sometimes will light up your life, and you will make better decisions in your future than if you send a hair sample in. Remember the guy that was at Daphne's store? There were two guys that came in, and they were going to leave their hair samples out. They were from New Jersey. And I said to them, how long are you going to be here? And they said, oh, a couple of days. I said, then do it now. Do it. Go in that room and get it done now. And the guy says to me, why? I said, because you're going to learn something about yourself that giving the hair sample is not going to do. It's as effective.
Sure.
So he did it, and those guys loved it. I still think they're clients of hers or whatever, but they loved it. So if you can do it in person, I highly suggest you get it done that way.
And I love that the church is helping first responders, because here we go again into wave 3. I don't think we ever came out of wave 1 or 2. I just think they needed to, like, you know when you do the audios and our editing and you guys see and you look at the spikes and then you cut it and then you keep going again? I think they just cut it and they moved into wave 3. I don't think this ever stopped. It was just a way just to distinguish, all right, we're in the fall.
Yeah.
With the first responders, you were talking to Teddy during commercial break. What do you think, Teddy?
I'm really excited. Like I said, you seem to, we were talking about how you understand what is happening, and that, it is really annoying because I went to the doctor yesterday and I try and tell them, and sometimes with doctors, they're analyzing it medically as to what medicine to give you instead of treating the root issue, being like, yeah, it might be celiac and it might be a dairy issue, which I know I have. It might just be worse than I thought. I didn't realize that even gluten-free things could build up. So I'm really excited to get this fixed.
And like anything, it takes time, but just when you start feeling some relief, you think, oh, all right, at least I'm on a different path and the right track. And
you get to a point of like hopelessness, really, where you're just like, this is just my life. I'm just gonna like be in pain while I live, and that's how you're gonna live. So it's nice to know, that hopefully.
You want to keep trying, There is no one way of doing things. And it's funny, Kim, because I used to tell Dawn that the person that reads the material, to me, was the gift. So you're able to do it. There's a lot of people who do biomeridian, and some do it better than others. Some are able to read better than others. When I went to see my doctor at FAU, I tell the story over and over again. I told him holistically what I was doing. And at that time, he thought I was crazy. Until a couple of years later, he gave me the book back that I gave him to read. He says, Santori, have you read this? I says, I'm the one that gave you the book, Doc. Yeah. And they have begun now. Other doctors are beginning to see the light on this thing, because it's not all about the mighty dollar. Sometimes medicine is good medicine when it works on both sides of the equation. And I think you got your finger on the pulse of this thing. I think it can help lots of people, you know, young, old, everything in between. It really comes down to give it a chance. It's really what it comes down to. If you tried everything for migraines and everything else, give this a chance to see what happens.
Absolutely. And you know, you got to deal with inflammation, and if your body's in pain, it's inflamed someplace.
Exactly.
It just takes time to kind of quiet the inflammation. And we've actually got a segment on tomorrow talking about that also with Dr. Anya, and Ivy's going to be joining us.
Is it fair to say that if you have pain in your body somewhere, there's something wrong, and the body's letting you know, hey, wise guy, there's something going on, right? If you drink too much, if you eat the wrong foods, if you get ulcers, if you get inflammation of the feet, it's telling you, you know, we got an issue here, and it's screaming at you, and I guess the body can't speak, so it's going to speak a different way. Is that a fair?
It's giving you signals,
Yeah.
and then we take pills to get through our day and ignore the signals, and then we take more pills and stronger pills.
And things that are chronic, if you're helping MS and you're helping patients like that and Parkinson's, can you potentially maybe help neuropathy from diabetes or things like that as well?
So my mom has neuropathy, and my mom swears by it, and she went for years in pain and on medications and everything. And when I started this about 8 years ago on my journey, she was like, oh yeah, and now she's always like, Kimmy, I'm almost out of drops. Kimmy, I'm almost out of drops. And she's doing remarkably well. She's still sick, you know, I mean, just like my MS client, he's still sick, but he used to be on like 4 or 5 medications and shots every 3 to 6 months, and now he only goes in for like once a year, and they're saying like his lesions aren't growing. I'm not saying that that's because of the drops or not, but he's doing well, and he's not on any of the medications he was on that were causing him a lot of symptoms. And that's a lot of times just the stuff that we're on, we may not necessarily need to be on. Like my grandma would go to the doctors every 3 months. Why? Well, for checkup. But she was okay. But every 3 months she'd go and get her prescription filled and everything. Well, she did, you know, it's like you just keep, okay, here's your prescription again, you know, and it's like, but I go when I'm sick, you know, you don't go all the time. And I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm just saying, like, why was my grandma going to the doctors every 3 months?
And the drops you use are not medication, they're energy
They're not.
infused.
They're homeopathic, they're energy. It's basically the frequencies of whatever your imbalances are, they're rebalances. Now, obviously, if it shows that the recommendation is for you to be taking vitamin A, I'll tell you, go buy a vitamin A product, you know. And as long as it doesn't have any of the food additives that are in your scan showing that you shouldn't have, then knock yourself out. That's what you should have. And I say that because I had one client that was taking vitamin D, and she had an issue with sorbitol. Well, she needed vitamin D, but sorbitol was an added filler, which was making her sick.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
I have a question. Can you help people? My dad has a lot of heart issues, health issues. Is that it all shows up on the biomeridian? You could see?
If there's anything that's underlining or root causing other things, I could see. I mean, I can't. I have heart assessments I can run to see if there's any imbalances energetically for that. I can check.
Nice.
Obviously, I mean, I can't say
Yeah.
that he's going to have a heart attack or not, or a stroke, but
Yeah.
I can see if there's any imbalances to see what might be causing things.
Daddy-daughter day.
How you like that? You can help just one person, right? Help person every day.
Yeah, well, you know, the bottom line is it's not going to hurt them. And she's not curing things. She's sort of giving you the opportunity to see what the problems are. That's the way it helped me. And I altered my diet. That changed. I know you wouldn't believe that today. I get it. but that I don't do that very often. Maybe just here once, twice a week, once a month, once every certain months.
I say nothing.
But the bottom, that's because you bought it. But the bottom line is that it sort of wakes you up to reality. You know, it's funny. My son didn't know I was 58. My son thought I was 48, yesterday's conversation. And it goes to show you that in that 10-year span, you got to change your life. Because you're going to have to be nicer to yourself. Because as you get older, things begin to happen. And Dawn is beginning to find this out. She's a little bit older today than she was yesterday. You wouldn't think it because she looks like she's 20, I get it. But the bottom line is that the body is going to continue to grow and to age and to everything else, like fine wine. But you can do things to help yourself. So instead of having migraines, the headaches are gone. It may make us
Now it's in my
crazy.
jaw.
Now it's
But you
time to
talk about
withdraw.
stress, right? If I can find a way for my body to manifest stress, it does. And it just finds
You
another
grind
place.
your teeth.
Because why would you think? Stress, I guess.
Because you stress yourself out.
So, I don't even feel the stress. I feel like I'm much more at ease these days. You notice I sit and I do work and
You're stressed.
But yet I guess my body is still feeling stressed.
I have the perfect solution, by the way, for that.
I'm afraid to ask you.
If when I played football, we had a mouth guard.
Oh, yeah.
You boil it, you put it in your mouth, and it does your impression.
You have a friend over there who broke through hers.
Yeah, I don't know. In all the years that I played ball, I never broke through my mouth guard.
I've grinded through multiple cavity fillings and also the mouth guard that my dentist gave me. I grinded through it, like a $300 mouth guard.
Wow. Then you got to get a boxer's mouth guard. Those are almost,
that's what I use now. I have my old jiu-jitsu ones.
yeah, those are almost impenetrable, except for you.
So
But you should do that.
Yes, I
and
know.
watch what happens. I seen you grind your teeth.
I don't even realize it, but it's just stress, I guess. It's trying to keep all of this together, including myself.
You're one. The other one is the twirling of the hair.
I do
When
that.
they're stressing, they
I
do
do that.
this.
But there's so many things, we all have something. We all have so many great
I'm gonna start
gifts.
taking pictures.
If we can alleviate some of the stressors that are causing pain and inflammation in your body, your gifts will just be much more visible for everybody else to see.
Or the low self-esteem is the one that bothers me the most. That's the one that I think that we have to go after. And this is a tough time to do it because with everything that's going on around us, who the hell is going to be happy right now? You're going to have to find a way. You're going to have to find and make a way. It's the way I see it.
But I'm so glad you reached back out to us because I've been thinking about you
I'm
and
glad,
the
yeah.
drops. I'm like, I should call her and get them. And
How did your daughter do with it?
she never got past the assessment. So if she too would, something more to do.
Yep.
A lot of stuff.
More to absolutely.
COVID hit us.
More to come. Kim, thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for
today.
having
See,
me.
everything happens as it should.
It's the magic of the cafe. It always happens like
Right?
this.
Always in alignment. And Hector, you're going to have a great year. He's going to get into a
You
relationship.
should have heard him in there. I'm going to bring it up.
A relationship, and people are going to start acknowledging him for all of his great gifts. And we've had a great crew.
You're going to go to Hector's wedding?
Sure.
He's going to
If
invite
only
you.
if he invites us.
Well, he's going to. He has no choice.
Maybe we'll have it right here, a small intimate wedding. But yes, Kim, thank you so much for joining us. Michelle Landers on our 12 o'clock hour. Slick and Val and Teddy, thank you for running our board. Hector, thank you for all you do. And Vinny's home with the exterminator. So have a great day, everyone. I know, it's funny, right?
I got nothing to say.
Check your WhatsApp. Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And don't be late. I got nothing to say.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to reapply.